So who knows if that curse is going to continue forth onto Bind. You kind of mentioned this sort of thing, you know, that you think that Kudos need to be more flexible. Judging by what you see on the agent comp at the moment, do you believe in it? Do you believe in the magic of maybe Jonah getting rid of the breach and going to go ahead and stick now on Raze, who's very comfortable on Bind, or is it going to be something else?
No, I think that breach is a good agent on any map because of the flashbangs. But I do like the Raze idea. I think going for a Raze is going to counter Thief very well too, who is also on that Raze instead of Arena. Everything else, though, seems just about par for the course. In fact, it is exactly par for the course. Both teams going with the exact same agent comp this time.
Keeping things even.
Yeah. On the most even map.
Well, there's a reason a lot of people refer to it, or at least think of it, as El Clásico of Valorant. And we're going to see things break down. Everybody has their own style of how they like to play Bind. It's unique in a lot of regards. Almost no teams insta-ban or anything, so usually you have a big pool to select from when it comes to results and all the sorts. Now, taking a look at some of the past history on Kudos, I know that they played this very recently. Actually, their last match, their last map that they played before heading into this game was on Bind, where they beat the Clapping 13-6. Obviously, LG are going to provide a lot more of a challenge, but at least, you know, recent history has been favorable for them, Boggs.
Here, what was that score on Haven, though, that Kudos had over the Clapping?
13-4.
Ah, so Bind is a little closer.
There.
Just a little bit.
Take that as you will, folks. Take that as you will.
How can we take this one here? I mean, are you already seeing what's happening on the A bomb site? They teleported into heaven. They're running through the spawn right now. What is going on? They're on each other's sides of the map.
It's Yin Yang strat. It's Yin Yang. They're going to wrap all the way through spawn towards B. And KZ just charging through, paranoid and not going to deny the kill on the Frenzy. It's a feeding frenzy for KZ. 2 quick kills. Spike going down on B. And Thief's going to grab one over towards A short. And that's going to leave Hira and Jonah in the last 2 alive in a 2v3 now as Hira caps off KZ. Knows that Thief has taken the teleporter too. Thief just trying to bait, going back and forth. Jumping classic shot works, but Mada's right there for the trade, and trades favor the attacking side, particularly when they have a man advantage. Jonah having to rotate around through spawn and elbow, trying to find something back. Time starting to dwindle away a little more. It does have paint shells though. That could be huge here. Throws those in Stort's hookah. It should be a kill, but it's just going to be the classic out. Exchanges broadside. It was stellar. Wins that duel. Jumping classic. Not going to save him this time, though. Mada going to finish off Jonah. And Luminosity grab the pistol round here on Bind to start things off with 1 round on the attacking side.
But there is almost no wiggle room for that. Mada, at the end of it, was bleeding internally. That man was barely staying alive. He was barely conscious finishing up that round. He had 2 points of health. That is not nearly enough of a margin, I think, to win it if LG want to dominate and completely destroy Kudos come map number 2. 13-9 was already very, very competitive, and Kudos nearly impressed us again. But, as you mentioned, that crazy yin-yang strat, I feel like it's just such a absolute cluster to watch, will end up going the way of LG towards the end of it, and this one will be another quick ordeal. Well, maybe not quick ordeal. It's going to be another ordeal, that's for sure. This time tinted a lot more red in the kill feed. 4 kills found within the matter of a couple of seconds. Teddy, late on the rotate through, has to wonder what the hell just went wrong. His goal right now, a little bit of damage. Economic damage, again, if you want to borrow a very commonly used phrase by some of the other casters. But with only a shorty in his hand, options seem very limited.
Well, his chances were short-lived, Kieran. No other way to slice that one.
I kind of knew you were going to say that sort of thing. I want to go back and look at all the VODs. I know you've made a really good amount of shorty jokes in the past, but luckily they're going to be standing up tall. No more shorties for this round. We're going to actually have a much better, more scary set of artillery to go ahead and grace the scoreboard. 5 Phantoms, I believe it was. Is there actually any Vandals?
Yeah.
I didn't take a really...
No Vandals on the board. They're all silenced weapons.
Well, I mean...
At least for the primary.
Inarguably a better gun as well. You know, being able to shoot through smoke without tracers coming through. But, you know, we'll get to that one a little bit bit later. Already the push has become from Kudos with a really interesting and aggressive drone through TP. That itself is not the most interesting part. It's the fact that now Hira is looking to push off of it. 2 kills found towards his team will make this back into an even situation, Boggs.
It is a 3v3, but if you look at how open that A side is, it makes me very worried. Yes, the camera from Teddy is over towards B2, so there is no additional information. Bathrooms is a wide open angle for LG should they choose to take it. But they're sending that rotation back, Kudos. That could be their downfall here. Yes, they have a couple tripwires up, some cages down. Zebroe has a recon dart. Going to send it out towards A and probably rotate back towards B off of the back of it, finding nothing. But Teddy now has that tripwire destroyed, and that's going to signal the rotation back. Surely Zebroe makes his way in. Teddy, at the very least, needs a kill, too. Dark cover going in. Owl drone might just catch off the Cypher. I believe it does catch at least the information there. Cyber cage dropped by aproto now as he pushes up. Oh, Zebroe, this is your chance. Teddy with one. Zebroe swings. The timing goes his way. aproto 1v3, not to be. Zebroe mops him up as well. Kudos grabbed their first round on the board. It was a bit of a bonus round from LG, but it did have a little more bite than money would. It had 3 Phantoms into that round. Should be able to get another buy up here, but it wouldn't exactly be the best. Looking at you, Thief, at 2100. aproto will be hurting for cash as well. Might just have to go for a Bulldog here. Or even a Guardian. Haven't really seen the Guardian all too much, but
this goes here.
Been a couple of instances where I've seen the what seems like most forbidden gun in Valorant come out. That or the areas, I suppose they're both forbidden in their own ways. But
I mean,
you know, I think really that was not a good showing from LG. Yes, I understand it was their bonus, but look at how that ended. They seemed a little bit confused when kind of dawdling onto the site. That is not something you can attribute to it being a bonus. That is a straight up kind of a misunderstanding of what they actually want to accomplish at the end of it. Kudos, however, they are just completely primed in, focused only on their goal, and that is finding a couple of kills. LG will fight back with their professional attitude and have another 3-on-3. So right back onto even territory. It's a bit of a strange one because Kudos have this Hunter's Fury that they could expend that would probably stave off an early push or allow for some aggression to come through if they wanted to work for some map control over towards Hookah. Most likely would be their best bet. Maybe they're not going to go for it whatsoever. LG are just about ready to begin their execute, and this one could be a real nasty one, especially with aproto finding first blood. This is looking awfully scary for Kudos. But Zebroe dances behind the site, and I think he has a real chance to be a linchpin. Unfortunately, though, his best chance goes completely squandered, as unfortunately the kills, although they lined up for him, came at just the most awkward possible moments and positions, and he is caught completely astray from the rest of his team. Jonah at least gets one consolation kill. Otherwise, will find himself stranded out in C. Joining his teammates, however, as they enter a shallow grave. LG find another. A weird kind of pickup, LG. Being able to bounce back, that is a solid mid-round call from them, but I don't know. I still don't feel confident about how this one is going so far.
Granted, they are on the attack on Bind. It is a defender-setted map. And they have a prime opportunity to grab a 4th already here out of 5 rounds. It's going to be a half bite at best from Kudos. Let's see what they have here going into the last second here. Let's see what they've actually gone for. Classic out, not going to do enough for a kill. KZ somehow still alive. Stellar will find one, traded out by Fletcher. That's a good trade, and a rifle picked up. aproto still lurking out towards A side, towards bathrooms. Might get caught here. Well, Zebroe going to go back, though. That will be his undoing. Rotation going to come in on the flank here to try and catch off aproto from behind. The blades are out for Hira. In the meantime, though, Teddy's going to get pushed in on towards the tin can. Thief will put him to bed. aproto just going to hold back towards triple stack. Try and catch somebody else off. Oh, I don't think that was a lineup there. I think he just hit a couple of shots out of that spray. 3 kills in the round there for aproto. He will take that one to the bank and say thank you very much. LG will also say thank you very much and grab a 4th round on the board. Operator out for Hira, though, had some very good rounds with it on Haven. And I'm expecting much of the same here on Bind from the Jett Opper. Stellar, though, contrasting from that bottom tier performance on Haven. Now at the top tier of the scoreboard, 7-3-2. aproto next behind, and now it's Thief and Mada at the bottom.
Well, it's still early days on Bind, though. It's no skin off of Kudos' back for not being able to piece that round together. I mean, from the get-go, it was really strange. A satchel pack through mid, trying to find an early pick, but there was no one really behind to kind of act as, you know, the flint and steel to make that fire burn. many Minecraft references am I going to try to fit in this broadcast? I don't really know, but that's a story for a different time. LG, still knowing what they're up against here, will not provide any respect as they overtake Hookah within the matter of a couple of seconds. Fletcher looks to hide under window and find a couple of kills, and he will! That is a huge, huge success already. Even if he dies, that is totally okay. But Fletcher is still alive and kicking. He can still do a little bit more magic, but the fact that he has shut down this early push from LG is monumental. They're just looking to walk into his crosshairs. Finally, Stellar will just kind of jump out, wildly find another. And what a strange turn of events this has been. LG actually fighting back tooth and nail. Will toss a Paranoia in to try to grab some elbow control. Aproto doesn't want to make that his primary goal, though. They still need to try to get this spike down and actually focus on the most important advantage at hand, and that is trying to survive against Hira, apparently. 2 kills found, both going his way, and then Aproto just shuts me up as well. It feels like I'm practically reading from a script at this point. The LG has made the comeback happen! What a... that is just ridiculous!
Holy moly, Aproto!
How am I supposed to expect this sort of thing? Do I need to switch to the hashtag crosshair, to the, I guess, the tic-tac-toe crosshair? But he is built differently,
Or
man.
a number sign. Or a pound sign.
Or the ampersand. Wait, no, that's...
Ampersand's the and sign,
That's the
Jared.
and. Well, shut up, man. I've been casting for 8 hours, okay? I am done.
I was thinking ampersand, though. I put it in your brain. It's my fault. And old Jonah's going to go to his grave, though. Early aggression. We move on to the next one. Hero falls to Thief as well. Thief now starting to heat up again for LG. It's not exactly the most expected round for victory for Kudos. They'd like a couple kills here to go their way. We'll get nothing here as Teddy will fall as well to Thief, who goes for a 4th, finally meets his maker. That is Zebroe. KZ, though, trades it back, and Fletcher last alive with the Sheriff, exchanging blows with the hero of the last round, the 1v3 clutch master himself, Aproto. But it will be 6-1, and... well,
I mean,
might still be
after
early stages, but 6 rounds of the attacking setup bind is a little scary.
Exactly what I was going to say. Like, sure, it's still early days, but now 6-6, excuse me, being the best that they can guarantee. This is no longer, you know, a free ride. That was probably one of the last ecos they can actually afford to give up. And Aproto cannot keep getting away with 1-on-3s. They cannot just allow these early frags to keep going the way of LG. There is absolutely no free lunch for Kudos. Ridiculous.
There's no
stuff
lunch
that
at
makes
all.
you-
Not even free lunch.
I'm just trying to get to breakfast at this point. Unfortunately, Hira will not try to act as a free snack for the LG member to collapse upon. There's a just completely deep showstopper in over towards the B bomb site. What a strange turn of events this again has been from LG. Feels like they're just taking the positions at their own will. Like, what is that peak? KZ just pre-firing angles that don't exist. He is a savant.
This is what I expected to see from LG.
Oh, for sure.
This is the LG I came into this expecting to watch. The LG that runs around the map, takes aim duels, and wins.
It is a marvel to watch at a lot of points. And thing is, it sucks too because Kudos have had a lot of close opportunities. Again, a 1v3 tossed away. You know, partially you can go ahead and blame it for even getting to that point, but really that's just kind of LG being built differently, you know? I mean, wonderful individual efforts. LG feeling a lot more confident in the fights that they're taking. I think, you know, I found the phrase to kind of sum it up succinctly. They are fighting for map control with everything they have. They are fine taking solo fights. They're fine doing everything they want. Because they're getting it time and time again.
Yeah. Until they get punished, there's no reason to stop. The Bucky, though, might catch something off. But oh, Teddy. That's unfortunate. Another kill goes back the way of LG, too. Thief continues to work up Hookah, uses that paint shell to clear out the angle. KZ picks up another one. Hero with the Blade Storm gets pushed back. Forced away. Dash goes in. Classic broadsides exchanged, going the way of KZ, being the Bismarck in this battle. And Jonah, the last alive. Sheriff in hand. Teleports over towards A. The right call. but I think might just be trying to... No, knows the spikes over here. What am I saying? But does not have a chance in this round. Stellar swings and puts him to bed. 8-1. How many rounds in a row is that for LG now?
I want to say 6?
It's 6, yeah.
Yep, there we are. They say to never do math on stream, but I'm trying to prove that wrong one instance at a time. But the math has been incredibly easy for, or excuse me, extremely easy to follow if you're LG loyal. They're up 1-0 already, and they're looking to make it 2-0. How much more simple than that can you really get? I don't know. Kudos, again, that was a little bit of a throwaway round. Sure, they're going to try their best, try their darndest to make it work, but realistically, the actual possibility of it happening is slim to none. Right now, we kind of watch as LG again push for a bit more map control by Hookah. There's 1 kill found for Jonah, and actually a second. That's the most surprising thing we've seen for a while for Kudos. But LG still remain a man ahead in this fight, making out 2 man ahead. The kills happen so quickly and in spurts that it's unbelievably suffocating to play against. Did you see that Peruvian wide swing that aproto just did?
I thought you weren't supposed to be able to wide swing in Valorant, huh?
Wow. Look, usually you're not supposed to, but aproto is kind of the exception to the rule.
He's on another level right now.
12-4 as Cypher? Yeah. Usually, I mean, aren't attack Cyphers supposed to be just kind
Kieran,
of... What?
I gotta stop you here. Look at the buy from Kudos. That's painful. That physically hurts me.
Well, I mean, if they push mid, I think there's a real okay chance they could find something here. You notice that there's actually a Cypher pushed in Cubby towards A. Exchange of debt dashes over at mid makes it so they might not expect the Cubby push. This could be real scary, but the emphasis right now that we have is over at Hookah. Hunter's Fury to open things up. This comes from the LG side. Mada not going to find any dice so far. Jonah will find first blood eventually, though. So things do look a little bit better for Kudos on this otherwise awful buy that you just want to pretend never happened. And perhaps LG will try to censor it for us. They've already found 2 kills to the good. There's 3 ultimates available. 2 ultimates available, excuse me, as Kudos forcefully rotate over to the A bomb site. But again, I'm not feeling very confident in this. Stellar is more than ready to take fights at Heaven. And the deal is done before there's really a chance to bargain.
Yeah, you can't have faith in the way that... Okay, maybe you can have faith in the way that Zebroe is playing. Make me eat my words there, why don't you? Long range with the judge. So close. 12 HP left on who else but aproto. The last round of the half. 10-1. This has been utter obliteration for Luminosity. Kudos. Tried to mix things up a little bit more, but nothing has been successful. The aim duels have fallen flat, something that they had going their way in the early portions of Haven. And now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of Binded. It's just...
This goes here.
It's brutal. There's no other way to slice it. It is just brutal.
At this point, it's just kind of hoping that Kudos can pull up with a miracle round or two. Somewhat similar to what they did a number of times on Haven, but when things like this happen, Fletcher being completely caught off guard from the otherwise interesting CT setup that we saw as a strat from Kudos to try to drag this round back to reality, you can't keep your hopes high. Neural Threat will be expended as well, and Teddy once again comes a little bit more online. There's another fight coming in from Stellar. That's over towards CT, but take a look at the general trend that's happening on this radar. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason, no correlation to what the moves of Kudos are at the moment. And it just kind of might work out. If they can isolate individual fights, I can start to believe a little bit more. Stellar has now been spotted out in CT, but you're seeing how there's a lot of comfort in allowing Thief to find the flank. That is exactly what you would expect from a professional org, just waiting for fights to happen at their own volition. And
that's some great comms right there.
Oh God, are you kidding? The way they peel it off of each other is brilliant.
Yeah, now Stellar's just going to lock down that spawn rotation. Thief sitting in the cubby, more towards bathrooms. Trigger discipline there. One headshot. Messy spray. Belabored is our good friend and busy with actual work, comrade Pineapple Phillips likes to say. 11-1, first half for LG. I thought they were gonna win this map. I didn't expect this.
Exactly. I'm not going to say it's an upset or anything. This is, in theory, what you would expect even going into like a round of 32 match. But just like the sheer fashion that it's happening, 11-1, you can't realistically expect always a performance like this. You know, LG, they've done this a number of times to a couple of other teams. It just kind of seems to happen once in a blue moon where they just completely pop off against teams that maybe you would imagine provide a bit more of a performance. But no, they are just, again, barring no holds, they are just
They don't have a chance.
completely and utterly obliterating. It isn't biased to say that. That is a straight up fact at this point. 11-1. Tons of ones on the scoreboard, really. But luckily, none are actually in the the scoreboard itself for kill feed or anything of the sort. And it looks like it's going to end relatively anticlimactically. Green filling the kill feed, and really, there's only a hint of red in it. It's looking like a pretty awful paint at this point. As LG just continue the fight, and I guess you can say business as usual.
Yeah, you could call it business as usual for LG. I mean, this is business as it has been here on Bind at the very least.
I mean,
And since the latter portions of Haven as well, LG have had full control of this series since about the 8-8 mark of Haven. It's been their map. It's been their match since that point.
and
The
that's what I'm
switch flipped
thinking,
in them,
too.
and they just popped off.
Like, and that's what I'm thinking too. It just kind of feels a little bit anticlimactic after what we saw on Bind, you know?
Yeah, it was a 7-5 half in favor of Kudos. And well, now the rest is history. About to be anyway. KZ with the judge is the executioner for 2. Trades it back to a 3v3 for the side of Kudos, but their buy is not exactly the best. Fletcher, though, making light work of aproto and mada with the sheriff. Leaving it all onto Thief with the most inadvantageous gun possible for the situation. A Marshall, 1 kill, long range with a frenzy. Actually catches one off. That should finish off Jonah as well. Goes over the sheriff for the Marshall, no scope. Jonah fell in the end there, but Zebroe was able to land the one shot it took to grab a second for Kudos.
But at what cost? What cost?
It's messy. It's not good. It is anything but good. It's not quite bad either, but it's not good.
That's definitely one way to look at it. I mean, that was a beautiful round from Fletcher. Don't want to take anything away from him there. Those were some gorgeous shots that we saw, luckily, the victim's POV of, so we can go ahead and definitely tell how nasty that was. But now try continuing it for 11 rounds straight to bring us to OT. Seems like a bit of a tough challenge, doesn't it? LG, having a little bit of fun with it towards the end, and it quite nearly worked. I mean, 2 kills of 3 was almost enough to actually secure the deal right there and then, but that highlight play will be kept for another round, another time, potentially against another opponent. Teddy finds the opening kill onto this next one. It, by all intents and purposes, again, should be 12-3, excuse me, for Kudos, as they're really only up against pistols, but LG have at least fought this hard to get it this far. And anything goes.
Some chuck dart damage coming in from Mada. Not going to yield a kill, though. Does crack the armor of Jonah. LG stellar, though. Brendan chimes in, pushing down through bathrooms, and now he's going to have to try and hold off the ace short with that stinger. Not exactly the best gun for the situation, but it can be very deadly. Paranoia prepped as the rotations from his team are coming in as well as 4v4. It doesn't need it, though. Aproto lands the first headshot. Teddy, though, with 2 more. Starting to heat up as well. Was the hero for Kudos. Large part
left.
on Haven. Chiming in now, but here comes Mada, too. Barrel stuffs Hira. And now Steve and Mada up against Jonah and Teddy. Spike yet to go down. Time dwindling. It's fleeting quickly, Kieran. And Teddy's health is also very low. Jonah's not too much better. It's all down to Jonah. Good headshot with the Bulldog. But Thief isn't the peak. He knows it. He just has to hold and hide. Wait for that spike to go down. Baiting out the peak. Drops that satchel. Does a lot of damage. Not going to kill. No time! That's huge. Cancel the plant. And in the most magnificent of big brain ways, Thief wins that one out. Passively, if you might say. Pacifist, not quite, but does some damage, knocks him off the spike plant. And that's a heartbreaking way to end that round where Kudos had some life left in it. But overall, that was LG's map from start to finish, and it felt like once they grabbed on, they never let go of Kudos.
That was just salt in the wound. Like, you probably already had the win secured. You don't need to go for the satchel stall to deny bomb plant. That's just absolutely dirty. The smart move in that situation, don't get me wrong, but it just feels bad knowing that Kudos are the victims. That is